For a decade, this case has loomed large as a dark cloud over Lincoln County. Pamela Hupp killed Betsy Faria, and I believe her motivation was simple: for greed.
The bizarre story of Pam Hupp grows tonight. New murder charges come as prosecutors now admit this case was botched from the start.
Hupp became nationally known for her bizarre scheme to get insurance money, and we are getting new evidence 10 years after Betsy Faria's murder. So look at these socks, and you'll see blood stains. But if you look closely, prosecutors say it appears Hupp used them to smear blood, then put them on Faria's feet. The blood marks resemble impressions from fingers, not feet or toes.
News 4's Russell Kinsall is in Troy, Missouri tonight, unpacking all of these new developments and how investigators, Russell, could be charged for their poor work.
Those involved in the initial investigation and prosecution were put on notice today that their work will be scrutinized. There will be an investigation, and if misconduct is found, there could be criminal charges.
I wasn't always sure that I would see the day until Mike Woods called me and told me that this was going to happen.
Russ Faria stood on the courthouse steps after the announcement and said he was glad that he was close to finally getting justice for his wife, Betsy, who was murdered 10 years ago.
Pamela Hupp killed Betsy Faria, and I believe her motivation was simple: for greed.
Court documents lay out the evidence. Hupp convinced Faria to make her the beneficiary of her life insurance just 4 days before the killing. Hupp was the last person to see Betsy Faria alive. Hupp's cell phone was in close proximity to the home at the time of the killing. And Hupp told investigators to check Betsy's laptop, where they found a note indicating Betsy feared Russ. But the note was created on a version of Microsoft Word, not on the laptop. Investigators and the former prosecutor had all the same facts.
This was one of the poorest examples of investigative work that I, as well as my team, have ever encountered, driven largely by ego, working toward an agenda rather than truth.
I knew they were lying when they did it. So I'm glad they're actually bringing that to light and wanting to prosecute those people for perjury.
The work of the previous prosecuting attorney and Sheriff's Department investigators who worked on the case will be scrutinized.
Today that we are launching an investigation into the potential prosecutorial and police misconduct in the Faria investigation. During the course of my investigation into Betsy Faria's death, I came across information that could potentially lead to criminal prosecution.
So I reached out to the former prosecutor, who's now in private practice here in Troy, and I was told that she was not in the office today. Of the original investigators with the Sheriff's Department, they're all gone, but one of them now works at the Florissant Police Department and is a sergeant. So I reached out to the Florissant Police Department to see if that sergeant had a comment. Have not heard back yet. In Troy, Russell Kinsall, News 4.
This case made against Pam Hupp comes with many twists and turns. For a breakdown of the investigations and Hupp's charges, head over to the KMOV News app. You'll find our full coverage there on the homepage.